Find someone who loves you like Taylor Hall loves playing with the first overall pick. We got a trade to tell you about. The Boston Bruins trade Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno in the same deal to the Chicago Blackhawks. We'll get into the nitty gritty, but first, want to bet? Well, if you're going to make a bet, why don't you do it at Sports Interaction, Canada's #1 sportsbook. If you're excited for the NHL draft, there's lots of draft props up. NHL props go on Dangle's doozies, and there's also other stuff on there because after all, it's summer baseball. Think you know which way it's going to go? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN and download the Sports Interaction app, but only if you're 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Off the top, I mentioned Taylor Hall playing with the first overall pick, and it is highly relevant to this trade because the Chicago Blackhawks have the first overall pick, and they're going to use it on it's Connor Bedard. No. Is anyone? No! It's Bedard! We can argue about the other ones, but the first pick is Bedard! Anyhow, in 2010, Taylor Hall was the first overall pick of the NHL to the Edmonton Oilers. Once Connor Bedard is selected first overall in a couple days in Nashville, he will be the 13th first overall pick to play in the NHL since Taylor Hall was drafted first overall. And once Taylor Hall plays his first NHL game with Connor Bedard, which he will, that will mean Taylor Hall will have played NHL games with 7 of 13 first overall picks since he was drafted. I wrote it all down. 2011, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. 2012, Nail Yakupov. Everyone forgets that one. 2015, Connor McDavid. They did play together for a season. 2017, Nico Hischier. 2018, Rasmus Dahlin. 2019, Jack Hughes. And finally, after a 3-year drought, he will play with Connor Bedard. Like, it's a meme at this point, right? It's a meme. It has to be a meme. Nick Foligno's just sitting there like, I don't want to be in a meme. I thought we were going to win a cup last year, and now we're going to Chicago. Which is a wild joke to make if you go back to 2015, but it's been a long time since 2015, and the Chicago Blackhawks went south for quite some time for a variety of reasons. Focusing on just one reason for now, the Blackhawks were bad. Bad, so bad last year, and ironically, their biggest impact around the NHL was winning one game, exactly one game, and playing spoilers at the end of the season with Pittsburgh. Winning that one game got them into the position that got them the first overall pick with Connor Bedard, and it kicked the Pittsburgh Penguins out of the playoffs, put Florida in, and Florida went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. But you know all that. I didn't even tell you who the Bruins traded for, who the Blackhawks gave to Boston. Oh, glad you asked. They traded for the signing rights to Ian Mitchell and Alec Regula. There you go. Aren't you glad I told you that? Here, let me shoehorn the reasons for this trade before getting to the real reasons. The shoehorned reasons, Alec Regula and Ian Mitchell might actually be able to play for Boston, who needs depth at right D. They actually acquired 3 today because they made another much smaller deal with the Devils. They acquired Riley Walsh from the New Jersey Devils, and he plays right defense. So do Ian Mitchell and Alec Regula. Now, of course, they got to sign all 3 of those dudes, but there's some NHL games played there. Yes, they were with the Blackhawks. Maybe we don't take that much from them, but they got that experience. On top of that, Ian Mitchell would have played under Jim Montgomery at the University of Denver. That familiarity is helpful. But here's the real reason. After this trade, the Boston Bruins have $11 million in cap space, and that sounds like a lot, despite the fact that it seems like they're pretty likely going to lose Dmitry Orlov because he's going to get a big payday. They have enough D-men currently signed to ice a full D-core. They have 7 guys locked up to next season. In net, you have Linus Ullmark, who I think won the Vezina Trophy. I'm not watching the NHL awards right now. That's when I'm shooting this. Oh, NHL awards are on. Better get some work done. Now, Jeremy Swayman, he's an RFA, and he's probably going to get a raise. Oh, no. But if you have to trade him, and you don't want to trade him, but if you have to trade him, you still got Linus Ullmark. Still got guys in the minors. It's not a bad system. The Bruins will be okay on D and in net. Here's the really big problem. Bless cap friendly. I don't know what any of us would do without it, but Trent Frederick is their only RFA listed up front. UFAs, Patrice Bergeron, might be retiring, Tyler Bertuzzi, Garnet Hathaway, David Krejci, and Thomas Nosek. The reason that is relevant is the Boston Bruins currently have 6 forwards! They might have guys who are ready to come up from the minors. I highly doubt they have 6 of them. 6 of them who are ready to step into like prominent roles, top 6 roles. Hey, you want to play with David Pastrnak? And you might say to yourself, well, they have $11 million to lock up those 6 guys. They could probably do that. Yeah, but remember Swayman too? So that's tight. That's going to be tight for the Boston Bruins. It's not disastrous, but the reason the cap situation is not disastrous is because they had to make that painful move today, moving out Nick Foligno and Taylor Hall. Now, here's what the Chicago Blackhawks get. Good players and relevance. I've actually been really encouraged by the last couple days because, listen, it's a ridiculous draft year. If you don't get Bedard, you can get Michkov, or you can get Fantilli, or you can get Leo Carlson, or you can get Will Smith. Next year's draft in 2024 might be good. It's highly unlikely to be this good, which means, judging by the Arizona Coyotes going out and actually buying, like spending a pick on Sean Durzi, and the Blackhawks going out and getting Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno, who, even if he's overpaid, he's useful and he's a good guy to have in the room. The teams who were at the bottom last season seem to be trying, and I think that's just good for the league, man. Listen, Nick Foligno, who did crack double digits in goals last season with 10, doesn't need to crack double digits in goals for the amount of money he's making. Taylor Hall does not need to return to Hart Trophy winning Taylor Hall form. But the Blackhawks are about to get a franchise cornerstone in Connor Bedard. Like, their empire fell, and it fell hard, and it fell bad. Patrick Kane was traded to the Rangers, and Jonathan Toews, who knows what's going to happen there, but he ain't going to play in Chicago. All of that, all those memories, it's just not on the roster anymore. They're gone. This is an opportunity for an on-ice fresh start for the Chicago Blackhawks. They want to surround Connor Bedard with talent, and unpopular opinion, I don't think that's bad. By the way, I don't think the Chicago Blackhawks are done. 2 picks in the first round this year, 4 picks in the second round this year, 2 picks in the third round. Oh, and how much cap space did they? Oh, $31.5 million! They have $31.5 million in cap space. Now, there is a reason for that. They suck. That's okay. It's like, they suck by design. It's all right when you're bad and you mean to be. It's never good to be bad by accident. Think of some recent Flyers and Canucks teams. In fact, I think I undersold how great the Chicago Blackhawks situation is in terms of draft picks. 2 picks in the first round, 4 picks in the second round, and 2 picks in the third round this year. 2 picks in the first round, 2 picks in the second round, 2 picks in the third round next year. 2 picks in the first round, 2 picks in the second round, and 1 pick in the third round conditional in 2025. The Blackhawks were really active at last year's draft. Alex DeBrincat, that Mrazek move with the Toronto Maple Leafs, which, let's be honest, probably helped get them Bedard. The Blackhawks were active last year, and I think they're going to be pretty active this year, but maybe in a different way. So it's an interesting deal, one that I think works for both teams involved. One team dying to crawl out of the hole of irrelevancy and get back to the mountaintop, and another team looking to hold on to their place most of the way up the mountain until they ran into a panther. Oh, dude, I cannot wait for this draft. We say it every year that something big is going to go down. The draft class is so bad. Teams are so willing to do stuff. There are so many teams hoarding draft picks, and they can't possibly use them all. Something's going to go down, man. I feel it. What do you think's going to go down, and what do you think of this trade? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno are in the Windy City with another first overall pick.